So when the nominations for the Academy Awards were announced last year, I had seen all the films. But this year, I've only seen 7 of the 8 until yesterday. Yesterday, I finally saw Room. And Room, not to be misinterpreted from The Room, Lisa, you are tearing me apart! No, not that Room. It's just called Room. And this stars Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay, I want to say. I have trouble pronouncing his last name, to be honest. But these two are in this room, and they were trapped there for 7 years, and it follows how they survived through those 7 years. And that's all I'm going to say, because going into this film, that's all I knew. And I think if you go in just knowing that, you will be surprised by some of the things that occur in this film. This film did have a couple surprises up its sleeve. It was conventional towards the end, but I will get to that in a second, because I just want to talk about how the film's one setting was very, very smart. I felt claustrophobic when watching this film. It was very, very good because of such. Like, they used a lot of close-up shots, and I'm usually not a fan of that because I feel as though that's amateurish. But with this movie, it really felt perfect because it really added that depth to the film. But on top of depth, I just want to say that Brie Larson, like, people are talking about Jake and his performance in this film, but Brie Larson was really the one that stood out because she's been in comedy. She was in Short Term 12, but she's usually in comedy. Like, she was in 21 and 22 Jump Street. Actually, no, 21 Jump Street, my bad. She was in 21 Jump Street, and she was very funny in that, but in this, she's very serious, and she's getting a lot of Oscar attention. And I think that she will win Best Actress at the Academy Awards, even though I do want Saoirse Ronan to win. But Brie Larson was fantastic. Just the way she was, like, looking at her son. Like, you could tell she cared about him. But she was also an emotionally detached woman because of all the events that occurred, which was very traumatic with all that occurred. And I really liked also the directing in this film. This director is relatively new, but the way he did each scene, it felt perfect. And I liked it. The film didn't feel low budget. Even though it is low budget, it doesn't feel like that. And I liked that about the film. And there's no real flaws. Like, from a technical aspect, it's very good. I'm not going to say this is an entertaining film because it is very depressing with the things that go on. A lot of implications occur that many viewers, if they're not mature enough, won't pick up on. But if you're mature enough, you will pick up on that. Some of the things that occur in this film, it's like, yuck, that's disgusting. But there's not many flaws in this film, other than I do think, and I said this earlier in the review, I think towards the end of the film, it felt rushed. I couldn't quite put my finger on it when I first came out of the movie theater. But then I sat in my car for a couple minutes and I was like, something was off. I was like, this is a good movie, but something was off. And then it hit me. It was rushed because they took so much time in the room that when something actually happens after the first 2 acts, it then just went really, really fast versus the slow leisure pacing of the first 2 acts. But it's not just that. I also had major problems with the fact that when a huge event occurs about the hour mark, they use the music from Moneyball. And I normally don't mind if a movie uses music from, like, Mozart or, like, famous, classical music. But if they legitimately steal a score from another movie, I usually have problems with that, and it really took me out of the movie in this case, especially with using the music from Moneyball. But nonetheless, guys, this is a really good film. Those are just minor quips. It is a good film. It is quite depressing, so it's not exactly a date night film, but if you're going with friends, definitely take them, because it is well worth it, and I will be giving Room a 4.5 out of 5-star rating. Guys, definitely check this out. It's definitely worth your time. And let me know your thoughts if you have seen Room. And as always, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, and thank you very much for watching.